time I went off-roading. It was not planned, it was out of necessity. And it's a story that incorporates some strange words from a blues radio host that gave me some courage at the right time. So it was a spring about 5 years ago, and I went to the Morton Arboretum near my house. I drove my truck to the east side and parked on the side of this hill. It's a gravel parking lot near what's called the Joy Path. Parked there hundreds of times before. This time, I parked with my front tires off the edge of the gravel parking lot, pointing downhill. Didn't think anything of it. It had been a rainy season too, so it was the perfect storm. Oh, and also my dad had just taken out the sandbags from the back of the truck to give more traction. So I went for a walk about an hour and a half, and night fell around 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, that was relaxing. Turn on the truck and put it in reverse, and what do I hear? The sound of tires digging a hole in the gravel. Okay. So maybe if I go forward and turn around, make a U-turn, I can point up the hill and get out that way. No dice. So at that point I realized it was in over my head. I called on my flip phone, it was still back then. I called the Morton Arboretum security, and I said, hi, it's a voicemail. Hi, this is Hi, this is James. I'm stuck at the Joy Path, in the mud. Please help. Goodbye. I'm like, okay. Maybe they'll come, maybe they won't. And you'll see, they didn't. So I decided, you know what I could do? I've got some tire chains in the back of the car that had been in the bed since we had went to Yosemite National Park years before. I laid those out in front of my back tires, hoping I could just crawl onto them and crawl up the parking lot and get out of there. The back tires just sucked them in and spat them out the back. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to get down in the mud and put those on. So I got out some cardboard I also had in the back of the truck, and I laid down in the dark for the first time, put those on. And many times I was like, these chains are far too small to fit on these tires. Maybe this isn't gonna work. But I don't have many options, so let's keep trying. So it was at that time I remembered the words of this radio host. His name was Greg. And I used to, he's dead now, so it makes it work out.
Poor guy.
He died of a heart attack like 2 years ago. But his words live on. So he used to start the radio show with, and now we're going to dig deep like a groundhog in the soul of blues music. I always thought that was kind of weird, but then, as I was putting those chains on, I'm like, now we're going to dig deep like a groundhog in the soul of blues music, as I was getting deeper and deeper into the mud. And I just kept repeating that back and forth and laughing at it. Gave me a little courage. And eventually I got the chains on. So this time I tried to go uphill once again. I still couldn't go up. I'm like, okay. I could either walk home, jump the fence at the edge of the Arboretum, and wake up to whatever happens tomorrow, or I could go downhill instead. So I got in, I pointed downhill, and I started making just a little bit of progress. I was making more traction as time was going on. I'm like, okay, better not stop. So I weaving it up between some bushes. I take a right at what's called Lake Japamaka, and then that's what it's actually called. And then I'm on the wood chip path, the Joy Path, which is just wide enough for my truck. And I come along the banks of the DuPage River. Like, okay, nice and straight, don't veer off the path. And I didn't fall into the river, so it was good. And then I ended up at the road in the Arboretum, and I'm like, okay, I could stop and take the chains off or just drive home. I'll drive home with the chains on. And if you've ever done that when there's like no snow or mud underneath, it's a really weird ride. Uneven, clunk, clunk with the chains on, but I'm like, whatever. Then I got onto Park Boulevard and drove like the quarter mile up to my neighborhood. And there was like a little bit of traffic behind me, so I turned on my four-way flashers just to let them know it was okay. And then I went home. And I checked my phone, and I saw 3 missed voicemails from the Morton Arboretum security number. And the first one was, James, this is Frank. And I knew Frank, he's a bit of a lazy guy. He said, if you still need help, call back. Still need help, call back. Excellent strategy. I put it in the cabin of the truck while I was digging around in the mud. I'm like, I'm not going to put it in my pocket. And then I saw the next message was, James, call me back. I'm like, okay, I'll call you back. I gave him the story of what happened. He's like, I'm so glad you left that message because I got a message from someone who saw you while they were driving on Route 53 and saw your headlights along the riverbank. He says, you might have ended up in the clink otherwise, or the drink. So, so the moral of the story is if you're ever in need of help, call for help. Even if they don't help you, they will know that something's going on. And so the next day, my dad went there and told me of all the ruts and holes I had made in the grass that that were evidence of what happened. So that was my first time off-roading when I was helped by the words of a strange blues radio host. Thank you.